following the sincere apology tendered by Yoruba freedom fighter Sunday Adeyemo, aka Sunday IGBOHO, to the ONNI of IFE and others whom he referred to as Fulani slaves, the Yoruba monarch has replied. Moses Olafare, the spokesperson of Oba Enitan Ogunwusi, the ONNI of Ife, waved off IGBOHO's insults as irresponsible, adding that the palace was not ready to reply IGBOHO officially. However, ONNI said he will take the threat of violence against him by IGBOHO lightly, as it would be appropriately handled. IGBOHO berated some Southwest leaders, including the ONNI of Ife, over their perceived silence towards X-Men criminal activities in the region. The activities include killing, invading people's farm, kidnapping for ransom, kidnapping for whatever thing it is. They rape, they do a lot of very terrible things. He said that ONNI collected a ransom from President Muhammadu Buhari during his last visit. And I think Sunday IGBOHO knows that when certain dignitaries visit the president or visit any of these political office holders like governors, there is a certain amount that is given to them because they just don't go in there visiting. They book an appointment. So there are certain, well, I don't know what we are going to call this, if it is corruption or just giving out of money without proper understanding of it. If you are a representative of the people and you go visit, like a governor, go visit president of a country, why should you be giving a check or giving money when coming back? If you are giving that money, I don't think you want to speak against the person that gave you the gift. So the structure has been put in a place to create a kind of corrupt practices. Although some might say the money is for fuel. Like, all right, since you're coming and we're all in this together, take this for your fuel or whatever thing it is. Take this for yourself, for coming. It could be that. Anyway, let's leave that. If that is not what Sunday IGBOHO is actually talking about, if it is the real bribe, like they really gave him money, huge amount of money, to keep quiet and to also speak in favor of the president, in favor of the presidency. According to Sunday IGBOHO, he said the money collected by ONNI of Ife has created a kind of silence and he is not happy as regards the Yoruba Fulani crisis or the northern crisis with the south. He ended up calling them Fulani slaves, threatening to unleash terror on them. Well, as you all know, a lot of people presently are backing Sunday IGBOHO because he's speaking and fighting for the poor, the downtrodden, the people who have no voice. As you know, a king was kidnapped in the southwest of Nigeria. So it means the ONNI, if care is not taken, he might get kidnapped also. He might get kidnapped. So it's important that everybody feels safe. Now, speaking further on the allegation laid on him by IGBOHO, ONNI said Sunday IGBOHO made baseless allegations without evidence, warning him against his recklessness as they do not portray him in good light as a Yoruba elder imbued with moral values. The ONNI advised IGBOHO not to let the praise he is getting from his numerous followers get into him because he is still subject to him and his irresponsibility can cost him his fame. Meanwhile, IGBOHO had earlier apologized to the revered monarch, saying he said this impulsively and that it would never repeat itself again. And according to Sahara reporters, it says IGBOHO's comment, irresponsible, ONNI of Ife, it's back on Fulani slave comment. Wow. Now, reactions trailed this. Some said the truth is that when ONNI returned from Abuja, a lot of people were expecting him to speak about the insecurity in Yoruba land, but he just said that Sunday should leave the fight for government to take over. Now, what does that statement mean? I will leave that for you guys to judge. That's the comment from someone that when he visited, if he actually went there to discuss the security issue, Is it that we are not aware that we have police, we have the military, and we have the DSS? We all know that. So what's going on? Are they not in that contraption called Nigeria? How come they are not aware of the events that are happening and the reports? So the visit of the ONNI to Buhari, what is that going to create? Is that going to bring about more reaction? Or is that going to bring about more progress? Is that going to increase the security? Is that going to change things? We don't know. So for the ONNI coming to say, leave the fight for the government to handle. Well, it didn't go down with a lot of people. Leave the fight for the government that is pampering terrorists, the government that is closing eyes here and there. Is it until people die? You know, that kind of statement looks and appears lame to a lot of people. Leave the fight for the government. By the time the government decides, this type of government, by the time they decide to rise to protect the people, I'm sure a lot of terrible things would have happened. People would have lost their lives. Someone says silence is golden. A leader must be able to measure the temperature of the people and administer the right response. With due respect to His Royal Majesty Kabiyesi, that he may lose his popularity and influence if anything happens to Igboho through his altercation. So people are telling him now that you yourself, as ONNI of Ife, you might lose your influence and popularity if you go after Igboho. Igboho is an emergent leader who rose in a time of crisis that has almost consumed the Yoruba as a race. People will discredit anybody, no matter how highly placed, to protect their perceived savior. Please, sir, Kabiyesi, this is not the time to respond. And I think this is another wise one. Of course, the monarch would definitely want to speak. He won't want to keep quiet. He will want to maintain his royalty by saying, I can depopularize you if you're not careful. You're still my subject. I don't think that Sunday Igboho is going to accept that he is a subject. Yes, you respect all the monarchs in Yoruba land as an Omoluabi, but then I don't think Sunday Igboho would accept that he is a subject to ONNI of Ife, no matter the story and all of those that you might want to talk about. Because the question we should begin to ask is this: when you talk about maintaining the royalty and all of those culture and all of that, the question you ask yourself, of what benefit is the ONNI of Ife? Of what benefit is all of this monarch? What is the benefit? If there is no benefit, then it is useless. That is the meaning of this. Someone says, I see no fault in any way at the side of the Southerners for trying to protect the interests of their people. The old and ill system of grazing of animals by Fulanis is truly worrisome. And this is coming from a Fulani saying the old and ill system, a cake system of grazing our animals by our Fulani brothers, is truly worrisome. We must enlighten our elders on new farming or animal husbandry system. This is coming from Umar Salisu. Another person saying ONNI has no forgiving spirit. Itiega in palace because Sahara reporters wrote about his atrocities years ago. Well, another person said this statement was unnecessary and irresponsible. As a spiritual head, you are supposed to deal with issues spiritually. I don't think he's a spiritual head per se. He's not. Someone said no weapon fashioned against Igboho shall prosper. He's a defender of the helpless people of Yoruba nation from the hand of Fulani herdsmen. Someone say if from every look of thing, ONNI is Fulani houseboy in Yoruba land. Every time he is running right, left, and center to Aso Rock to see the dead Buhari, instead of supporting his people and defending the land against Fulani traitors, Fulani. Well, that's just it. A lot of people are throwing down their comment here, and I don't know what your own thoughts are. So many comments, and from the comments you see that nobody cares about what the ONNI of Ife is saying. At least not anybody that wants to lose his life for nothing.